am a whistleblower against designer diseases that ended up being attacked back in about the year 2000 and had my house burned down. So it led me on to find freedom from covert harassment and surveillance and become pretty involved in doing what I could do to help. So it became the challenge of learning about 35 to 40 different delivery systems that were affecting people, and taking note that when I moved from California to Florida thinking that I would get away from my attackers, not only finding out that that doesn't work, it's actually worldwide systems being implemented from above and below, cell towers, Gwen towers, HARP, CERN. It's very involved. Radar, there's so many systems, I won't go into all that, but I noticed while driving across the country after reading an article that the NSA was monitoring people, and that if you had a high-pitched ring in your left ear, you were hooked up to their monitor system. So my observation was that that high-pitched ring was very loud. It's in your head, so plugging your ears doesn't stop it from happening. And that being a symptom of being hooked up to the network, I wanted to understand why. And what I noticed was the further away from cell towers that I got, the less intense that the ringing was. So we're dealing with an interactive system with smartphones, Wi-Fi, and cell towers that have hooked us up to some implant technology, some frequency responsive nanotechnology, and a variety of implants, including implants that will fit inside of a hypodermic needle and then unfold and open. And the nanotechnology is actually growing secondary electrical systems in people's bodies, quantum dots. There's an experiment that was done showing that the quantum dots could come through aerially or in many sources of delivering them, but that they were actually capable of permeating the skin. And one of the telltale signs of those was these are all marked with fluorescence. So I've noticed under a microscope in body fluid samples some fluorescent colors that shouldn't be there. And in the experiment they did, within 8 hours, these micro little quantum dots, which are semiconductors and crystals like what are used in radios, that we've all been turned into walkie-talkies. The Wi-Fi, there was a person that did a Kirlian photography kind of a machine. He tuned it to Wi-Fi, and then he showed how the Wi-Fi, the intensity was put in different colors. So it showed that not only the shapes of the waves, how they extend out, but it also showed, besides the patterns, the different colors showed the intensity of where it was most intense.